This is a special video because this is 100 weeks of documented data. And I'm going to speak about what I've done, what I've achieved, what I've learned, and how much I've elevated in these 100 weeks. Wow, 100 weeks. I started this channel, I started documenting for me to look back on for when I'm rich. And also for others to watch, because there's so much knowledge and source. We're now 100 weeks in, and already I find myself looking back like, wow. I watched the old vid, not all of it, but I watch a couple minutes sometimes, or just even the thumbnails, because even the thumbnails have changed so much. Although my external appearance does not currently look how I see it in here. So at the start of these videos, what was I doing and what am I doing now? So at the start of these videos, week 1, I was trying to figure out how to trade. I was learning how to trade. I started trading in 2021 and I started this channel in 2023 or 4. Let me quickly check. Oh yeah, of course it was not 2023 because I was still having brain surgeries at that point. So it was 2024 I started, July or June. It's currently 2026, June. So what I was doing at the start of this series, I was trying to learn how to trade. I had no consistency. I was always getting stopped out. The CAD zone I was talking. So this was the green area I was looking for sells in. I was waiting for price to do something in here, but it didn't do what I wanted to. However, I still got the direction correct. It came straight down. I was targeting this. If price did something in this green zone, then I would have been in this for sells down to here. Look, AU melted. But yeah, I ain't fussing. No FOMO around here, boy. Now, as you can see from that clip from week 1, that was the common story. Sometimes I'd get the direction right but stopped. Other times I didn't get any direction right. I was always getting stopped, but I kept showing up. I kept tracking every trade. I kept showing up every day because I removed quitting from the equation. So I was in a situation where there's no plan B. I'm just gonna learn this. I don't care how long I'm getting stopped out for. Let me actually show you how my trading is now. I'm gonna put in yesterday's trade, my last trade that I was in and made money on. Let me put it in now. And then that trade you just saw me put up, I was in that trade. I made money on that trade across, well, it would have been multiple accounts. I'm running some funded account challenges and it was on them accounts as well as my personal, which I actually made real money. But yeah, now I've got something, them pink lines where I put them pink lines up, and it has been a long journey to get here. It has definitely not been straightforward or quick, but I've been acting in a relentless manner. So that's how I'm here. If you look at my very starting videos, you constantly hear me talk about mindset things like, I'm not quitting, I need to just focus on my inputs, then the end result will change, be consistent, making adjustments, tweaking. I knew I would get here. I didn't know how my strategy would be, but I knew I would make this work. I knew it. And now I've got something that's consistent across all markets. I've been consistent for 4 months now. I've experienced every type of, in fact, I think it's 5 months now. 5 months of consistency, but over a year of seeing these pink lines play out. So I've really built experience in my edge on all levels, from technical to psychological. I've experienced all of the trading phases with my edge. So that is winning streaks. Well, not winning streaks, but actually, yeah, winning streaks. I'm not talking about each individual trade like winner, winner, winner. I mean just weeks in a row winning. I've experienced winning streaks. I've experienced drawdown. But yeah, winning streaks and drawdown and flat periods, break evens. I've experienced all of that. So now I'm competent in my process. I've got a very clean and clear process for my charts. I'm going to show one of my dashboards. I use this dashboard to track my trading performance in batches of 7. I don't know why my mind's a bit foggy. I haven't even eaten today. In batches of 7, but I've created my own trading week, which is 2 weeks. So my trading week is not 1 week. I made my own, which is just 2 weeks instead. So I monitor my trading like that. I'm going to put in my dashboard that I use for my trading. So now this is not the main tracker. The main tracker is this light gray one. This blue one is just for me tracking each batch of 7 trades. I like to track my trades in batches of 7 just to see how many wins I'm getting out of them. So here you can see in this batch we finished minus 1.5R. I missed out on a couple winning trades, and my strategy means I need to capitalize on my winners. Anyway, the main thing is this. This is what manages my personal account. This is my personal account right here. So this is 2 weeks. You see currently it's a Thursday the 11th, and look at the date. So that's all in sync. This was yesterday's trade that you see, plus 3.93R. Now, so this is my personal account. Now over to the side, we have my funded accounts. It's the same process, it's just isolated and separate to my funded accounts. So you also see here, that same trade yesterday, we took on the funded accounts as well. And then this over here is just another set of funded accounts. And then up here shows you the accounts I'm currently running. I've got a FT220. I've got an Aqua, and this is actually old. Well, not old, but I don't need this one anymore because I've put it back here. Because we failed a very old one a couple days ago. So what I do is once I've entered a trade, I update this. Now this is important because it keeps me aligned with what matters. You know, trading is not about individual trades. It's about thinking in batches. So this right here helps me think in batches. Let's look at this week, for example. Look, yesterday we had a losing trade on Bitcoin. But, well, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, Tuesday, we had a losing trade on Bitcoin. That was -1. But then yesterday, Wednesday, we had a plus 3.9. So do the maths. We are up 2.9. We're trading with big capital. 2.9 is significant. If you're even risking 5,000 per trade, well, what's 5,000 times 2.9? That's about 14,000. You know, that's big life-changing money, especially if you know, like me, how to use money and how to put it in places. Anyway, that is my dashboard system that I use. I made this dashboard system. I didn't buy this, I made it myself. I used my timetable, making timetable skills, You can see me always talking about timetables in the starting videos, but that's what forged all of this meticulous timetable type skill. So I've done my timetable. Let me show it. So this is my new timetable, the second one. So 7 pages is reading 7 pages, and my new words, my 4 words a week. My workout, it's a home workout, be cardio or weights, whatever, from home that I'm about to be going gym. And then 5 o'clock, 10 past 5 when I start food. I don't eat breakfast, I don't eat lunch, I don't eat till my work's done. So 10 past 5 is when I start my food. So as you can see, timetables. I was always on my timetables. Today, I no longer work off a timetable. I don't work off timetables anymore. Sometimes I'll put a to-do list on my notepad, but timetables, nope. I do not make them anymore. So now the next phase in my trading it's about scaling up capital. So that means funded accounts, growing money, myself, and I can raise money. Them 3 pillars. I'm now in the scaling capital phase in my trading. I have an edge, a repeatable framework that I've watched this play out over a year now, and I've experienced and executed profitably on it for about 5 months, 4 or 5 months. But scale amplifies behavior. My behavior is already good, meaning money will amplify me. Because what I'm doing now is already making money, it's just that the money's small. So me getting these funded accounts and raising money and growing small amounts of money in a riskier, controlled way means I can start making money based on my skill set that is already valid. The money doesn't change how I trade. It boosts it up. My trading is already good. Damn, I'm gonna put up my TikTok from yesterday, my TikTok of the trade I took, because I created a TikTok page it's a branded channel, it's faceless, my face is not in it, but I showcase my skill set on my TikTok, and I'm gonna put in the TikTok now. Wow, Aaron. Damn, 100 weeks ago, you couldn't even predict where it was going. You had no idea where it was going. Now look at you. Now look at you. Well done, Aaron. 18th of August. I'm just sitting down listening to music, not following any regimented plan. Feel like I'm not doing anything, even though I know I am. I'm just fucking bored. I'm bored. Every weekend I'm indoors. I'm always indoors. I've been in my house, in my room for years. I've been doing this whole monk mood thing for 3 years. I'm bored. Can't go out because I don't have money. If I had money, I would not be in here right now. Wow, wow, wow. Now you've started to make money. But not even the money. It's not about the money. It's about the thing that gets the money. Although my external doesn't look how I see it in here yet, I own the skill sets and capability to get there. So it's a completely different phase. Back then, oh my gosh, thank you for never, imagine you quit. Imagine that. Damn, man. Back then we had, just thinking back, that is tedious, laborious. Now we own skill sets that can get the money. So it's a different phase, man. Back then it was like I was still trying to reach for the thing. I was trying to reach for it still. Now let's talk about websites, SEO, online businesses. So at the start of this week 1, I was looking at websites. I was speaking about websites, speaking about SEO. Second one, I'm looking at a website. I'm doing my first website due diligence because I'm going to get into, digital real estate. So buying, holding, flipping websites. So I'm looking at a website right now. Let me show you. This is the website I'm looking at. So when I'm doing my due diligence, I'm going to be looking at the domain, the niche, the traffic, the content, the links, the expenses, and also the monetization, because I'm trying to buy websites where I can add value. I'm not buying websites that are already good because then there's no value to be added. I'm looking for websites that need value to be added. So right now, the highest bid is $108 and buy now is $500. Now I don't want to spend over £200 I don't want to spend over $200 on a website. So I'm going to do the numbers on this website, see how it goes. As you can see, look at the page views, 1900. But it's not generating anything. So as you can see, there's potential there. And also, if you look at the website, it looks kind of boring. I think I might change the colors. If I was to get it, I'll change the colors, add some more content. I'm not going to get rid of any content because if you get rid, that's where it messes up your SEO. But yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to do my website due diligence. So I'm working through my... Watching that video that I just put before this, oh my gosh. Now I know SEO. Back then, I didn't know SEO. I was very beginner level. Like, yeah, I was learning, but I hadn't got my hands dirty in code and Google and SEO yet. Now I know SEO. And just listening to that is crazy because I've never listened to that clip before based on how I am now. So, and also everything I'm saying, I understand at a high level right now. The page views, the traffic, all of that. Today, I own multiple websites. Multiple. Now, I didn't buy and flip. I built from scratch. Also, back then, I had no idea how to code, how to make a website. My plan was always going to be bringing people in off like Fiverr and other platforms like that. But today I build the site myself. I own over 5 websites and I'm going to actually show some right now. So they are 2 of my websites. The first one was the first ever website I made. Then the other one was the third. But even since then, since I last built them websites, my skill has improved and the bar has leveled up. The bar's been raised so much, even from the latest websites I built. But it's great to see at the start of this journey, I was looking at websites, SEO. Now look,
currently got a big site in development right now. And I also have a software that allows me to build pages. It's like the brain of all of my websites. It keeps track of the data, keeps track of, not the data, but actually, yeah, it keeps track of the data across the full portfolio. So I know how many websites I've got, what websites need freshening, when they were last freshened up, what I put out, what it was freshened up with. It allows me to build pages, build blogs, and let me show you that now. So that's my software. Also, there's a machine in it that allows me to build a full website with a few clicks, called the conveyor belt. If you check video week 87 is that is around the time I started it. So yeah, that software gives me a lot of power in terms of speed and scalability for my websites, because it's very hard to scale something with no infrastructure and no systems. Me learning how to code was one of the best decisions I ever made. It's been a game changer in terms of looking at the way I look at the internet now. I look at the internet with a different lens. Even like apps, when I'm on YouTube, I kind of understand some of the logic behind it. Like, I know certain things have a boolean. Certain things are using if statements, let statements, get element by ID. While loops. Then you got the back end, local storage, cloud storage, APIs. So that's been amazing as well. Not just knowing how to code. I'm not saying I'm the best coder. I can definitely improve my coding skills, but I know enough. But that's technically, by looking at the internet with this coding brain, is massive. Now let's speak about my body transformation. Start of this, week 1, I was overweight, big belly, rolls. Now I'm going to put a before and after of my body, how I'm looking now versus how I was. Also, I'm going to show how I was eating, well, how I am eating now. So I did all of this by not eating breakfast and really not eating carbs. Recently now I do eat carbs in the evening, some rice, potatoes, but I'm not eating no processed foods. I'm eating whole foods, animals, protein. That's what I mean. I'm eating real clean. I've been doing this for 2 years now. Also intermittent fasting. So my first meal from 1 p.m, but sometimes later, like 2 p.m, 3 p.m. Recently I've been eating at like 3 p.m. first meal. No carbs. My body just started fucking eating my body. Literally. It started eating all my fat. I went super skinny when I first started. Not too sure on how many months, but let's just say 6-7 months. I went super skinny. Let me put up a little picture of how I was. So as you can see, I was very skinny. That's because I stopped eating breakfast. I stopped eating the carbs. A lot of the times I was in a big calorie deficit, but I was also on a protein deficit because at that time I didn't have the funds to buy the food that I wanted to eat. So some days it would literally be like, let's say I did eat some carbs, it'd be like a pack of noodles, 1 pack of noodles and some bread for the whole day. Nothing else. And I'd have that at like 4 p.m. So it feels like that. Also, I made a dish called fish that contained, it would have tuna or mackerel and some lettuce, some peas, some carrot. And that is a secret dish right there. That dish, that recipe that I designed will guarantee get anyone abs. But I'm not saying it will get you the abs in the correct, proper way. What it's going to do, you're going to lose a whole load of fat and a whole load of muscle unless you're having like two. Listen, this is how you can lose weight on such a low budget. So in the future, I will be releasing that dish. Not because I need to try and enrich myself from that. I'm beyond making money from things like that. But it can definitely help people, and people only take things seriously that they pay for. So that fish will guarantee get you abs. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get you abs in the correct way, because no, you're going to likely lose muscle as well. However, you can lose it and then put it back on. That's what I did. Now let me show you how I'm looking right now. Moving forward, the goal is I'm going to start going to better gyms. Right now I do it all at home. So I've done this whole body transformation at home on a extreme budget. But obviously, because business is going very well operationally, I'm going to be able to go to some good gyms. I know where 2 very good gyms are. They are amazing. One's in... Actually, I won't say the location. Actually, yeah, I will. One's in North London. One's in West London. They are very good gyms. I love them. I've been to both of them. Shout out to my uncle, my good family friend who, took me on these experiences. I won't say his name. I don't know if he wants me to start saying his name. However, he took me to these places and I love them gyms. So moving forward, going to the gym, personal trainer, and also my food, being able to buy the correct foods I want to be eating, some steak, some lamb, all of that type of stuff. 2 full meals a day. Right now I'm eating basically 2 meals, but the second meal is usually like porridge or, But that's going to improve. I'll be eating 2 full meals a day. And also I've made a drink, magic juice. I made that a long time ago. But again, the finance problems, I wasn't able to, keep the upkeep of having that drink consistently. Anyway, so moving forward with the body type of stuff, the body shape, my physique. I already have my dream physique pretty much. Just bigger pecs, bigger shoulders, everything toned legs. I don't want to be a big hench guy. I want to look like an athlete. Think MMA fighter. Think it's lightweight. Or even a footballer. Think, I don't know, Premier League footballer. Saka, Cunha, Doku. I haven't even... Dorgu, yeah. Or Doku. I haven't even seen their bodies, but I've seen how they look on the TV, and I know they're going to have something similar to what I want. So that's for all the workout stuff in 100 weeks. That's what we've built. Let's go. Now, what about other things such as, new words? I used to always learn new words.
3 minutes later, I know you can't see, but yeah, it's 3 minutes later. Learn my words. I haven't learned them properly yet. I'll just go through the whole week. But I now know these words. And let me show you the match to each of them. So, perilous. Croydon is perilous. Perilous means full of danger and risk. Contentious. If I was my true braggadocious self, I'd be contentious. It'd be contentious. Contentious means likely to cause an argument. Apathetic. I was telling someone my next chess moves and they were apathetic. They weren't showing no interest. Infallible.
Today, I actually have and use long, cool sounding words. Now, I wanted to speak like how I speak today in terms of my vocabulary. I wanted to have a broad range of words to effortlessly add in. I know that I'm a purveyor of knowledge and purveyor of inspiration. I also know I am not infallible. However, that is a powerful mindset to hold in certain things. And that right there is me putting and inserting the new words. Now, the words I use most commonly today are aloof. I aloofed myself from happiness and, well, not happiness, but joy to get this far. I detached myself from joy to work on important things, well, things I believed were important. Another one is ambiguous, not clear. I like perspicacious, but in all honesty, because now I'm operating business, like I'm actually doing things that move needles and I'm running things and building things, because that's how my days are, my words aren't always coming out how I would like them to be, because I'm not really reading anymore. I no longer read. If I do read, it's with intention. Like, for example, I'm reading something very specific to learn something very specific. I'm not really just reading how I used to read. However, I do have them amazing words and I'm proud of how I speak. Yesterday I walked into a carpet shop and I was fully speaking to both of the two owners. I'd never been in there before. I can communicate very well and articulate myself very well. And if I need to put in them words, I can. If I need to put in them words, I can easily insert them words with ease. Now, let's talk about women, because in this journey, week 1, I didn't care about women because I understand that a lot of my value is about money, and first of all, I cared about money before I don't care about no female if I don't have no infrastructure for my life. And I've always been like this since even before I started. I've been like this in school. I was thinking these thoughts when I was in school when I was 15, 16. So, now I'm 21. When I started this channel, you can even hear me talk about it in videos. I did not care about, oh, let me find some women, let me chase women. I cared about my brilliance and my trading. That's what I cared about. So, the women's situation, for the first 43 weeks, I didn't speak to any women. Like, in that type of way. I'm not talking about, seeing someone on the road and you give them a nod or something like that. Week 42, I met a female. Week 42, and we were speaking for like 3 days. And then, well, that didn't turn out in the best manner, in the best way. But yeah, me meeting that female was very big for me, because my journey has been so like intentional and planned out. I always said before week 43, like there's a time and place where I'll be ready for women. And week 43, I was getting very much closer. I was getting very much closer to that reality of being ready to speak to women. Anyway, week 43, I met a female. We were speaking for about 3 days, and then that was that. There was another girl as well who I was speaking to around that time, if you check video week 42, not 43, week 42 and 41. Actually, no, I think it's week 42. I was speaking to 2 females. That was when that was when I found my strategy. After many tweaks, trial and error, I'd found some sort of consistency. But then it took me a whole load of months to then. It's not about being able to predict the markets. It's about, can you anticipate and execute on it? So I was doing a prediction part round about week 42, but the executing part, no, I wasn't doing it so great. Anyways, fast forward today, I do the same predictions because it's the same strategy, the strategy I've shown in this video. It's the same strategy, but I can execute now. So it's just, it's amazing. I'm currently in a trade right now, actually. I took another trade earlier, which was the winner. This trade I'm in, we're in profit, and we'll see how it goes. It's crazy how before week 42, I was so focused on work stuff. Week 42 is when I started. Well, that was when I first spoke to a female properly. Man. Wow, I thought that was a real, she was a good female, but I thought like, whoa, this is it. This could be a potential mother. I'm quite good at reading people, and she was a good, genuine female. But also, me meeting her taught me so much about women. I can no longer, till this day, I can no longer speak to any type of female again. Like, you have to be a certain caliber of female now. And she really showed me like wow, this is, when I met her in real life, in Selfridges. When I saw her, I knew like she was different by how she was dressed. I'm looking for real wives. I don't have no interest in some, one night stands. I'm way too deep in my journey and these crazy, amazing experiences, brain surgeries, escaping certain things, and all of that type of stuff. Arrests in my teenage years, a whole load of stuff. So I think I'm past that one night stand. That's too surface level for me now. Even if I wanted to do that, I'm too serious and deep into this incredible journey to be on that one night stand type of stuff. So I do look for serious women, but me meeting her defo shifted the type of females I look for. A whole load of females have been trivialized. And also the way the dynamic was as well, it was completely different. And that showed, the reason I spoke to this female in Selfridges was because of my confidence. Some people may call it aura. I don't like using that word because everyone else uses it. And I don't want to be like anyone else. I want to be like me. But the way I even got her in the first place was because of all of the work I had put in on myself. So she thought I was who I saw myself in here, but obviously she can't see that. So I understand why we're not speaking anymore. Or I understand why it ended. But the dynamic was completely different. It wasn't like I was trying to chase her. She was trying to get to know me. So the whole dynamic changed. I was not chasing her. She was asking me the questions. Like, she was asking me if I want to get married, if I want to have kids. And previously in my teenage years, when I did speak to a couple women, the dynamic was always like me, I like them, I'm trying to chase them. Fuck no. No way. But this was very different. She saw my brilliance. The only problem is that I was ahead of my time in terms of my third dimensional reality. I was ahead of my time. She wasn't seeing the person she thought she met. And when I asked her, like, the way I got her number, I said to her, I asked her, like, why did you give me your number? And she said, I caught her off guard. She was like, most guys, they're like, yo, can I get your snap? But my approach was kind of different and it was kind of brave. So, yeah. That's the situation with the women. Now, right now, I am 100%, well, I'm 98% ready for women. The only reason I'm not with women right now is simply because I need my operations, my business to start reaping money in. Then it allows me to be creative, you know, be seen, go in environments where there's women. Right now, my operations are going great. My confidence is great. My belief is great. I genuinely love myself. I know I can genuinely add value to anyone I'm with. A female, easily. Any female with me is going to get better. Now, yeah, business operations, bringing money in means I can be creative. And I'll use the same mindset and relentlessness I used to make business go well, that will make me have women. So I will have women. You will see them on this page, this channel, with their consent, obviously. But yeah, you will see women on this channel, 100%. Now, yeah, that woman I spoke to on week 42, that was the closest I'd really spoke to a female. Now, I have approached women after that point, but it never went anywhere. I never got their number. It didn't move the needle, so it's irrelevant talking about it. Week 42, that was the most prominent, real, wow, me talking to a female experience and moment from this channel in this journey. I remember week 42 when I was speaking to these women, I was like, wow. You know, I thought back then that was when I was gonna completely, you know, my trading was about to take off. Now, the interesting thing is my trading I had massive realizations and massive new mindset shifts that did improve me significantly, but I feel like the universe has a perfect time. There is such thing as perfect timing. And also, if you listen to high performance habits, a lot of them say that everything happened at the perfect timing. So although I thought that was it, well, that wasn't it. However, it was big new mindset shifts, big improvements, and big great tweaks. Let me tell you how it played out, because I'm doing an introspection. I'm in Harrods looking at aftershaves. I noticed she was looking at me. I clocked her looking at me and she was kind of smirking, but I nodded at her, but I don't know if she noticed. Then anyway, we're near each other. She's about 2-3 meters away from me. Then she walks past me because she was finished, and then she locked eyes. We locked eyes, and I straight away. You don't need game. And you've worked on yourself for years. If you need game, I just said, how old are you? Whilst I'm smiling as well, because that's just me. But how old are you? She answered. Then I just gave her my phone with a keypad open. Here, put your number in. Here, put your number in. No, how are you? No game from me. My game is my brilliance, which humans can sense. They can smell it. You ever walked into a room and you can just feel someone looking at you? Or you can feel something's off? Damn right, we're human, we're smart. It's inside of us. It's in us. I'm just flicking through week 42. I'm cringing at that. Oh my gosh, it's so cringy. Just the way I was moving. I am a cosmic dude, but I feel like sometimes when you're cosmic, it can come across like super, I don't know. Just flicking through week 42. Flicking through week 42, if she did watch that video, I can understand why we no longer speak and why she blocked me. I completely understand. So anyway, that's the women's stuff. That is the women's stuff. Moving forward for the women's stuff, it's about, I'm always outside. Not always, but I'm outside. I make sure I go outside on walks, and if I do see any, I will speak to them. But, you know, business operations is key, because having some cash flow just allows you to be nimble and move around, put yourself in environments and all of that good stuff. When I started these videos, I didn't have a TikTok page. Today, I have a TikTok page with 77 followers, or 76. It started off me talking about my brain surgery stories. I got some positive feedback, but I've kind of not transitioned, but naturally I've started speaking about mindset, you know, financial literacy, that type of content, and I'm not consistent at it as maybe one would say I should be, and I'm fine with that. I've put enough content out there, and also the plan is, once my lifestyle catches up to what's in my mind, the videos are gonna take a huge level up. I'm talking editors, videographers, all of that. So once my life catches up to my mind, there's gonna be a massive level up in my TikTok page. I'll put some videos in of my TikTok. I'll put a brain surgery story in and, some mindset. So right now I'm 19. From 17 to 19 I was in and out of hospital. I've had 2 major brainstem surgeries and 4 other brain surgeries to do with my shunt. At 15 I decided to become extremely successful financially, so I started reading personal development and business books to work on my mindset. Obviously I didn't know what was waiting for me ahead. 17 I ended up in the hospital because I had some strange symptoms like not being able to swallow my food properly. But from 15 I had purpose to life. I wanted to be exceptional, and that gave me significant strength and hope to get better. Even in the hospital bed I was thinking of my plan. I never lost sight of my vision despite my deteriorating health. I'm talking blurry vision all the time. You can't swallow food properly, it's hard to urinate, you can't walk in a straight line, all your facial muscles are weak so you can't speak properly. Positive the whole way through, never crossed my mind that I could die, didn't ever think I wouldn't get back to normal health. I remember one of the doctors telling me I need to make adjustments to my new way of life. I got so mad at her trying to put her limitations onto me. Now look at me. There's no limitations. Don't let anyone limit you. Don't believe in fate either. You choose how your life plays out. There's not something out to get you. You choose how your life plays out. It's in your mind. Believe in yourself. Don't let anyone limit you because you're limitless. How dare someone else try and limit you? How can someone limit you? It's you. Only you can limit yourself. Refute and disapprove of anyone limiting you or trying to. So that is how the TikTok is going. There is a big plan once operations are funding me to really level that up. On week 25, I went to go and view a penthouse. That was life-changing. Damn, that was 75 weeks ago. Now that my operations are, my vision is getting closer to my reality. My reality is catching up. So now I can actually see how I can move into these types of amazing modern properties. Ooh! Fucking hell! This is my second one, and this is a proper penthouse, proper. Wow.
So alongside this one, I've got another unit on the literally next door actually. So I can show you that one as well.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
The previous tenants moved out about 2 months ago.
Okay.
That has been vacant, but the landlord's starting.
Now I'm going to show you the mansion. This changed the game because I got to engage my senses with all of these extravagant luxury things. Just about to step into the house. I'm about to meet the agent now. Less than 2 minutes. I like it because it's modern and it's spacious. Wow.
this wall. So yeah, that stuff was great for me viewing the penthouse and the mansion. Now I can see how my business, right now, I can see how my business can fund them things and how I can actually live in them type of places, which is great. That was when I was living in the end. When I was viewing these properties, I I had no edge. I couldn't code, there was no websites. I was just acting as if. And now look, what's like 75 weeks later, I have the edge, I have websites. It's inevitable I will move into them type of places. Watch, you'll see it all on this camera. Wow, man, I was just in them like I had it all. But I had nothing, zero in my bank, I had like 56p. Gosh, or maybe, to be realistic, maybe £22, nothing. Now look, I've actually built skills and something. I've built things that can get me living in them type of places. Watch! And that summarizes how my 100 weeks have gone. Now let me answer some questions people may have, or I'd like to know. The first question is, how do I feel about week 1 till now, week 100? And the way I feel is very proud. I'm very proud of myself. This boosts a whole load of things, my confidence, my efficacy, ability, and belief. I'm so proud. Honestly, what I've built in this 100 weeks, forget about the money stuff, the skills, the infrastructure, because that's what actually gets the money, skills and infrastructure and systems, which I now have 100 weeks later. I'm very proud. Next question is, do you think you would have got further than you did? Now, if you would have asked me, on week 1, if you said, where will you be in 100 weeks? I would have definitely said making money. Now, I am making money, but it's small, so it's not significant. So I would have got that wrong. I would have said making money, like as in money, like life-changing money, where I can go on holidays, do whatever I want pretty much. Now, we are not at that stage, but we have built the infrastructure and the systems to actually, for that to be possible. But you know, whenever you think in the future, whenever I was thinking in the future, well, I think anyone, you can say, yeah, making money, but you're not going to know exactly how that's playing out. Like, for example, on week 1, yes, I was looking at websites, but I would not have said or thought I would have a whole software, I would know how to code. Like, you always think about the end result, aka making the money. But what about the skill sets, the infrastructure, the systems to make that money? So yeah, I would have thought I would have got further in terms of, I thought I would have been making money. But looking at my actual habits and the capability with my abs, knowing how to code, having my edge like this, so precise and structured, I think I would have got that kind of on. In fact, I think I've overachieved in terms of my habits, like in terms of my infrastructure and my capability. Like, I have the capability to build a software right now. I have the capability to say to someone, I'll build you a full software, I'll get you jobs as well, and I want a commission from each of them jobs. I can get that done. I can get that done with the use of my skill and AI. So yeah, and that is the 100 weeks. 100 week wrap up. Now imagine another 100 weeks. What will life look like in another 100 weeks? Wow. That's this video.